Hello, welcome to another video of our channel, English Wiz, and I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are going to talk about a very important issue which is called how to learn English effectively and better. In this short video, I'm going to talk about very important points of how to learn English. Try not to miss the last point, because the last point is going to be very important and very effective in learning English. If you like our video, please subscribe. Okay, let's start. First point that is very important for English learners is to read everything you have, read everything you can see. There are a lot of short English stories that are really interesting for most of English students in many different levels. You can find these in many bookstores around the city. These books help you learn English better and more effectively. Another thing that is really important for reading is newspapers. You can find a lot of English newspapers which can help you learn English better and more effectively. Something else that can help students learn better is social media feed. I am sure everybody and everyone in this era, in this age, has access to many social media applications. One of them is Facebook, Twitter, and many other social media applications on which you can find a lot of feed and a lot of things in English. So there's a very interesting question. Why should I read all these things, including books, social media applications, social media feeds, and so on? Most of the time when you're reading these pages, or most of the time when you're reading something, you may find something very interesting, a very interesting vocabulary, that this word seems very interesting to you. So you learn it, you write it down, and after that you're going to use it in your future conversations that you're going to have. Another benefit that reading has is to use the words that you have studied before in new context. Actually, you see these words that you have studied before in new context, and you're going to see how they're used differently in different contexts. You can also have a review over the past words and vocabularies that you have learned before. Do not just read. Reading is not enough. Something else that is enough, I'm going to tell you in the next point. The next step is try to actively take notes for everything you're reading. While you're reading, you may find some very nice and interesting words that you'll have to write it down. There are a lot of ways to write down these new words. You can write the new word on the margin, or you can write down the new word on a funky notebook. You can carry a notebook wherever you want with yourself, and then this notebook can help you a lot to write the word down and review the note later. Another thing that can help you while taking notes is an application. You can download this application, or there are a lot of similar applications on available on the net. You can download these applications and you can write down the notes. The third point is to talk with real humans, to talk with real people. You know, what is the language for if not to communicate? A language is a sign or a means of communication. When we learn a language, we have to communicate with people. So when you're learning English, try to communicate with people and try to converse with them, talk to them. Let me here mention something interesting. Talking to people is far better than reading. Although reading was number one, talking to people is also a very good way. You can experience how conversations work. You can experience the anxiety and the stress when talking to a normal person, not just reading. Because in reading, you have just one input, which is understanding. But when you're talking to people, when you're talking to real life people, that has both listening and speaking. I'm sure every one of us or every one of you has a lot of friends who know English. Not just friends, you have siblings. I'm sure there are some brothers and some sisters who know English and who can communicate in English. So do not forget to talk to real people. The fourth point is to subscribe to podcasts or YouTube channels in English. That is very important. Nowadays, we are living in the age of technology, in the era of technology, by which we can have access to a lot of podcasts, to a lot of YouTube channels in which you can find a lot of fascinating data. Using this data, you can improve your English and you can enhance your English. One thing you have to do is to find your interest. Follow your interest. What are you interested in? Are you interested in politics? Are you interested in anthropology? Are you interested in drama? What are you interested in? Find your interest and follow your interest. A challenge most of the time people or students face is that when they watch a video by a native speaker, they find it very challenging, I can say, or very complicated to understand the foreigner accent. So it doesn't matter. For the first time that you're watching these videos, the accent may seem a little difficult and challenging, but try not to lose hope. Gradually, you will learn to understand how these people talk and how these points are understood by you. And I'm sure by having consistency and perseverance, you can continue and you can improve your English much better and better. The fifth point is to use your friends. Use your friends. Everybody now has a friend or two or more than that who know English. So try to use your friend. Try to talk about daily activities. Try to talk about your daily chores. Have a conversation. Talk to them. I don't know, whenever you are having a conversation or whenever you're conversing with your friend, try to have this conversation in English. This is much better and this is much more fun to talk to your partner and to learn something. There are two benefits of doing this. To do so, you are socializing with your friend and you're socializing more. You're being more and more outgoing and gregarious. On the other hand, you're practicing your English. You're learning real life English. Here, I can say that you can kill two birds with one stone. The sixth point is to ask a lot of questions. In the past, people used to say that curiosity killed the cat. But here, I disagree. I strongly disagree with this because sometimes curiosity may not kill the cat. So it helps you a lot to be curious, to be searching and try to ask a lot of questions. These questions may be in many different locations and in many different domains of your life. I'm sure many of you are taking English courses. So in your course, you can ask a lot of questions. You can ask your teacher these questions. You can ask your partner these questions. You can ask anyone who is talking to you these questions. You can ask your friends. You can ask your family members if they know English. So asking questions help you a lot to communicate with them. And of course, try to ask questions in English, not in your native language, of course. The seventh step is to take a lead from the stars. What I mean by this is to follow a celebrity. Many of us have at least 2 or 3 favorite celebrities who are not in our native, who are not a part of our native language. So what we can do is to mix up learning by picking a native speaker as a role model and try to follow them. Here, what you can do is to go online. Find the person, find that specific celebrity whom you want to follow. These people can have Facebook pages, Twitter pages, I don't know, other social application sites or pages where you can follow and read what they do. Something else you can do is to find interviews with these people. The interviews with these people can help you a lot. While you listen, for the first time that you listen to these interviews, listen for the gist. But for the second time and for the third time that you're listening and watching these interviews, try to write down the nice expressions they use. Try to write down the nice words they use. And then somehow engage yourself with these interviews. And these all can help you a lot to learn better. Last but not least, don't kick yourself while you're down. When you lose hope, try not to give up. I know a lot of people who have been learning English for a long time, yet they have not made that progress. So my suggestion is not to give up. Try not to give up. Instead of saying negative words like, I don't know, I can't do this, I'm not made for learning languages, and language is not my thing. Instead of saying these negative things, try to motivate yourself. Try to inspire yourself, try to encourage yourself, try saying something positive. For example, I can do this, I am made for this, I know this is difficult now, but one day I am gonna learn it. So try not to give up and try not to give in. Try to continue and learn something. These were some points about how to learn English more effectively. Actually, I've been asked this question many times on how to learn English better. I hope this video can inspire you to greater efforts and to a better person out of you. I wish you guys liked our video and enjoyed our video and used a few things or learned a few things actually. If you have liked our video, please subscribe and please like the video, and you can comment under this video your questions or your feedback. Your feedback is really important to us. So thank you all for your support, and good day.